it's me, Erica, and so today our video is about making macarons or macaroons. I always get that mixed up. It's the actual cookie, not the pastry of like the bread. But if I interchange them, I'm sorry, I don't know. But this is part of a series where I try new things. One of the things in the new year I wanted to do was just try a bunch of new things I've never done before, and my previous video was me trying to clear my backlog, so there's going to be different kind of videos like that, me trying something for the first time or trying something like just I haven't really done before or wanted to learn and make a video out of it just so that I can document my experience. So for this video, as I mentioned, I am making macarons. Hold on. It is macarons. The macarons, so the cookie looking thing. So in these kinds of videos I kind of tell you like the why and the process, and then would I do it again. So the reason why I wanted to make macarons, honestly, I just wanted to try it out because if you know me personally, I'm not really a big sweets person, and I also hate cooking and baking anything like that. And the main reason is not even the act of doing it, it's just I think the aftermath and the prep work that comes into all those things. But I just really wanted to learn how to make it. I've been thinking about making these a long time ago just with friends in general, but these cookies are really hard to make and are very like easy to mess up if you don't know what you're doing, so I want to just take class on it. So for the class I decided to take a character macaron making class at Always Yours Bakery in Castro Valley. I went with my cousin Johan, and we went on a Sunday. I believe it was like the end of January that we went, and it was a 3-hour class and we were making macarons for the Lunar New Year. So for our class was actually taught by the owner of Always Yours Bakery, Natalie, and she was super nice and super helpful with all the instructions, and she even gave us her own recipe to make these at home, which you'll see at the end of this video how that went, because that's why this video took 2 weeks, is because I was doing them for the class, not professional, but with the teacher, and then doing that for the reality of trying to do it by ourselves. So the class took 3 hours long. A lot of it was mainly actually prep work. The actual making of the macaron took the shortest amount of time, like actually putting it together. The one that took forever, of course, was making the ingredients for it. Natalie was actually pretty good in that she prepped a lot of the stuff, so that it didn't take that long when we actually started to pipe it and stuff, which you'll see in the later clips was not what happened when I did it by myself. And for this class specifically, we had a group of people, but there was a couple of people that didn't show up, so some of us made two and I made two. So I made the lantern and I made the Lunar New Year boy. So making the actual macaroon with the teacher was pretty easy. We mixed everything, and I could totally see when I was actually doing it myself where we could go wrong with over mixing and having not the correct materials. Example, the stand mixer, just because Natalie had mentioned that she was making the meringue for about 40 minutes already with the stand mixer before we went to the class, so I could tell that this was going to be a problem when I did it by myself. But overall, the actual experience is really fun. I would do that class again with, of course, a different character. But it was fun regardless, and I did actually pretty good with the circles, at least for the basic macaron, which is the lantern. The boy, sometimes he looked like he was a football instead of a head, but that's not the class fault. That's me. That's me. So I would definitely do that class again, but of course with a different character. And I think she did host these classes once a month, so if you're ever interested in an area, I would totally recommend going to take her class. So then about a week later, me and my group of friends decided to make the macarons from that class by ourselves. And yeah, things just went wrong. Things just totally went wrong with that class, with the thing. So we decided to actually do it at my friend Mia's house because she had the bigger kitchen and had more of the materials of the stuff. But at the same time, I think just starting out, we were already having a rough time. So number one, for some reason Mia had a sifter that was sifting really slow, so we had to sift the almond flour and the regular flour, I believe. Whatever, we were sifting materials. We were sifting, but Mia's sifter was so slow that we were like, we only sifted like 2 grams of the almond flour in like an hour. So we had our friend Victor buy a new one from Michael's because we were in like the first hour already struggling with the sifting of the flour. So once we did that, everything seemed okay, but then came the meringue. And I mentioned in the class Natalie had been doing the meringue before we even started the class, and she had mentioned it would take 40 minutes on the highest setting with the stand mixer. Tell me why we were doing this meringue for an hour and a half with the highest setting on the hand mixer, and it was still not doing the stiff peak. It was still not doing the stiff peaks that you're looking for. And at this time we were kind of delirious. And we were just like, let's cut it, you know. Do I really want to do this anymore? No, because it was reaching 8:30, and that does not sound late, right? But like, as you know, late 20-year-olds, this is getting close to our bedtime. This is getting close to our bedtime on you know, making these macarons. So we decided to just put it all together, and we already knew it wasn't gonna turn out well, but we just had hope that maybe, just maybe, it would turn out okay. So when we actually piped it, it looked fine. But some people, like, for some reason, this recipe calls for 48 macarons, or so 4 dozen. And Natalie had mentioned, do not try your best not to like cut these materials in half, or like try to make half of the recipe, just because it could mess up the amount of, you know, materials you need, or you might have more or less of what you actually call for. So this was supposed to make 48 macarons. Somehow we made like 20 macarons, but they were just really huge. And they were just coming out of the bag super fast. And so when we put them in Mia's oven and we took them out, they looked like burgers and were very misshapen. And yeah, I didn't even mention that part where I was just so done with making the macarons that I fell asleep. And it already was not going well in the beginning because I forgot to mention it earlier. Like, Monica, we were all in charge of getting certain materials for each other. Monica had lost the butter, but I ended up finding the butter the next day in my car, or my sister's car, just hidden away. So maybe that was an omen that we shouldn't have done this. But then once we were done, we filled the macarons in and it looked like this. So yeah, our collective thing was, this was too hard. Maybe let's not do this. But would I after that whole experience, would I do it again? Yes, but with certain you know, materials. Because I think where we messed up the most was we did this later in the day, and we had a child trying to help us and encourage us, who was like Mia's niece, waiting for these macarons to turn out well. But then we were taking so long, she went to bed and she didn't get a macaron. So macaroon, who knows, we were just so done with it. But yes, I would do it again if we had the proper materials. What ended up happening is that after this whole ordeal, one of our, Nancy's significant other had mentioned, oh, you should have let me know. I think my mom had a stand mixer, and I was like, you know how much time we would have saved if we just had the stand mixer. But not all is lost. We also had other desserts and stuff that day because it was Victor's birthday, and I had a cake done at Baskin Robbins with his face on it. Oh. Oh my god, Nala, no! Nala, no!
Oh wow!
So was it all lost? No. I think we were just so done with making the macarons that we were just like, this is, even if we didn't get the correct macarons, or we didn't make the correct ones, it's okay, because all we did was the journey. It's the journey that counts, not the result. I don't think so. That was my experience making macarons. It's kind of a quick video, but I was just like, I think it's just a way to kind of break up the videos of things that I am doing on my channel. Some still anime and stuff, but also stuff that's important to me and kind of documenting as well. Have you guys ever made macarons or anything like pastry wise that is like this difficult? But yeah, the macarons tasted okay. The macarons tasted okay. I would say the ones I made in the class tasted way better than the ones we made by ourselves. For some reason, the ones we made by ourselves were more sweet than the ones I made in the the class. My guess is, my hypothesis is, because we made 48, we were supposed to make 48 macarons, but we ended up making like 20 patties essentially, that it just seems like there's just so much sugar in these 20 patties of macarons that it ended up tasting like that. But with that, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video, and I hope you watch the other videos like this. Hopefully we'll have some other anime related videos and manga related videos, but for right now I think a lot of the videos are going to be like this, just because I'm trying a lot of new things for the new year, but I think the next try will be a little more anime related if you guys are more interested in that. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!